All good things must come to an end, and so too must the bad. Tonight, Blue Stinger will conclude. Come hell or high water, no matter how long it takes, we are finishing this. We are getting this over and done with. When we are done with this, I never want to think about this game ever again. I'm going to delete it from the hard drive. I'm going to go full on out. I'm just disavowing this game when it's finished. Hi, Charkie.
Hey, Cass.
Can you tell I'm excited about this one? Excited to be done with it, that is. So, look, folks. Thank you for those of you who've turned up. I'm going to break kayfabe here a little bit, say that we're having, this is a record low in viewership, and I understand why. This is not a begrudgment of the audience. I know this playthrough has been painful. It has been painful to play through, and it probably has been painful to watch. So I assure you, I promise you, it ends tonight. I'm going to try to bite my tongue as much as possible. I'm hoping we can finish this on some sort of positive notes. Maybe the game pulls it all together in the last 3 hours. I'm doubtful, but I'd like to keep a positive perspective for this one going into it. And if I could just ride that for 3 hours at least, we'll be all right. Well, what's your coping strategy?
Well, today is September the 26th, and that means Balatro just came out on a mobile.
Ooh, it did.
Yeah, so I have that to entertain me for the next 3 to 5 hours.
Great! That's awesome. I'm glad to know that you're dialed in. You're on that grind set tonight. I should get Balatro for mobile. I need to stop. I need to wean myself off of real poker games.
Yeah, it's like $10 and you pay the $10 once.
That's a novel fucking concept. I haven't spent triple-digit numbers on my poker addiction in the past month.
But folks, if you want to spend triple-digit numbers, it's September.
Go for that tier 5 subscription.
Yeah.
Push it into the triple digits. There's... yeah, please continue.
No, that was the end of my bit.
Oh, yeah, that's the plug. I guess that's the plug. I will also say, just as a bit of bookkeeping, that overnight, we did hit our 1,000 follower mark on this here Twitch channel. So that's pretty cool. Currently sitting at 1,000 right now, so if someone wants to unfollow, this would be a great time to do it. Then we can have the proper celebration if it happens live again later in the show or on Saturday's stream. Because this one's gonna get fucking buried. This news is gonna get buried in this episode. But thank you to those of you watching, either on YouTube or on Twitch. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with playthroughs like this. Thank you for putting up with us. For so many hours here. But one thing that you'll never... Oh, very cool. Your mouth moved when you did that. I didn't know you could make that sound with your mouth. That's impressive.
You want to see what other sounds I can make with my mouth? Here.
That's the sound I make when I play Blue Stinger. One thing that people never have to tolerate, that they just willingly accept, that they anticipate, even. Maybe it's the best part of some people's days. It's the best part of my day, that's for goddamn sure. It's Charkie's Stream Snack.
Alright, tonight's stream snack is a couple slices of Hawaiian pizza from a local place around here. It's got your pineapple, your ham, and some green peppers. And our drink tonight is Alani Nu Witch's Brew, which I really got to go back to the grocery store sometime soon
and
buy more of these. Yeah, because they were low last time I went there. Hopefully to get some more.
Well, the Witches can only produce so many. I mean, their cauldron only fits so much liquid.
But it's very good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a short one.
That is a short one. But, you know, brevity is the soul of wit. We say as we're about to embark on a at least 3-hour streaming extravaganza. Anball Gang says, "Can I recommend an awful poker game to you? Is it multimedia celebrity poker? Because that's the worst poker game I know. Go ahead, please, by all means. And I'm curious. I am curious. Not as curious as I am, though, as I am to see the end of Blue Stinger, to see what this is all building to. Remember, blind playthrough this started as, and I guess continues to be. You know, I guess it doesn't really change until we finish the game once. Oh, Activision. Most evil company in America, they say. They're the ones that people, like, rig the vote to make them place as the most evil company in America, right? Was it them or EA?
It sounds like EA. It's like, you said that, and I was going to be like, really? Them? I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't necessarily argue against them so much, but I feel like there's probably a lot more.
I think that...
you know what? I just realized you said company, not video game company. Company, period? Never mind.
Company, period. Yeah, no, Activision's deeply tied into the military-industrial complex. If you're talking, like, real evil, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
A little bit of bookkeeping here.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't save at the end of last episode before we died, and we ended up losing roughly, like, 30 minutes or 20 minutes of progress. So I did do that off stream. I got up to roughly the point before we died, and then I placed a save, a hard save here.
Yes.
Here we are.
Right.
Last we were doing, oh, didn't mean to do that, but that's fine.
Oh well.
We're still a little infected. We're still a little purple. Abadi.
You've got that long people turning into monsters disease.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I can't taste anything. Except for human flesh. That tastes good to me. Again, let's take a moment to appreciate the decal on the window. Perfect. No notes.
All right. So we went. Did you get the thing in here, or are we catching up to that? We're catching up to that.
Yes.
In hell is this? I guess this is the research Kimura Tech has been engaged in.
Oh, look at him. So cute. He's sleeping.
Doing with these monsters? Who knows? There must be a report.
Please don't call them monsters. I was almost one myself. I understand them now.
Yeah, I have a lot of empathy for them at this point in my life. I've come around completely. Alright, if I remember correctly, I need to waddle my way on over here. The monster was holding something. In what? In its mouth? In its ass? Oh no, it's giant meaty claws. There we go. Poker game
There's also
World
one
Poker
other thing.
Championship 2004. Okay, yeah, I do remember that. That didn't make the Don't Play This Game series on GameSpot, right? It would be my article if it did.
Now, they do say it's Alex Navarro, but I don't know.
I'll have to double check my listicle where I counted down all the worst reviewed games on GameSpot at a certain point in time in my life, back when I was a writer. And now I'm a streamer. Funny that. Ah, fresh air. We're finally out of the lab. That area took the bulk of last episode, by the way.
Yes, like the lab section was like 90% of the video if you go by the chapters.
You know, I don't want to limp. Chug a hassy, and I'll chug some energy, some monster energy.
I'll have some witch's brew.
Okay, it's all coming back to me now.
Yep.
Alright, we got a long hallway ahead of us.
Yep. I feel like I remember telling you you should probably save at the top of that thing.
You
at
did.
the time, but...
It was good advice. I didn't heed it. Ow, they stubbed me in the toe. I probably don't even need to kill these things. I could probably just
That's
monster
what
dodge
killed
them.
you last time, I think.
Look at my expert dodging technique. No, I actually don't. I'm beginning to see the issue here. I think you need to walk off of it. Because if you... I did a thing where I tried to activate at the edge.
I'm waiting for them to be sitting down there waiting with like a table with like a checkerboard spread and forks and knives.
Dinner's served. It's delivery, straight down the ladder. Well, I managed to weave my way through that, so that's nice. I think the next room has a combination of these things and those obnoxious lasers that levitate in the air.
Potentially. I remember something more dangerous is coming up.
Oh, I thought I dodged that. Hey, you know, a question. Why are the lasers targeting the monsters?
They've come to an understanding.
There we go. Let's see them try to chase after us. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, let's turn around and see them chase after us.
I'm giving them a fighting chance. I'm a sportsman. So I think we're headed to Janine to give her the good news that we're no longer a hideous monster.
I honestly don't know if we're doing that. I feel like we could call her if that were the case.
Yeah, well, why talk over the phone when in person is so much more intimate? I see a big monster. And we haven't played as dogs in a minute, have we?
No, not recently.
Sumo Santa. Just like in Clay Fighter.
Not wrong.
Oh. Okay, fuck this. So I'm not sure what I was thinking there, but it seemed like a good idea at the time.
He may need a steak the next time we see him.
I think so. I think that the old dog's earned it.
I felt the stun rod would probably be good.
Well, the sumo didn't work.
No, stun rod just seems like better sumo.
You know, that's true. What can dogs do that is, like, of any use to us at this point?
Take hits if we're about to die ourselves.
You know, that is good. That is... We should fill them up just for that.
Yes.
And also get them off this sumo thing. Let's get the Gatling gun. I filled up all the ammo in all our guns, by the way. Just to be on top of that.
Oh, you know, that's what helped. The Gatling gun was actually, I think, helpful during one of those fights back there. One of the bosses.
Can you read I Am Headful's question from the chat, if you don't mind, by the way?
One thing I'm only now thinking about is to ever explain where those monsters come from, as in the ones who aren't clearly mutated humans.
Something dinosaur DNA.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh, I thought he was like when he's holding it like that. I thought he was like swinging around. Oh, sorry.
Shokin? Then you do the Heimlich. This is why you don't talk with your mouth full, by the way.
You said answer the question. Anyway. When he was holding it like that, it looked like he was putting the Gatling gun underneath his legs and like straddling it, like one hand in front of him, one hand behind him.
Oh my god, is this fight ever gonna end? Okay, there we go. We killed the Terminator from T2. They turned back into liquid metal. We don't get anything for that? You know, that's fine. That's fine. That's alright.
Free liquid metal.
You know, like, pick it up, put it in a bucket, bring it with us. Alright, what's your story, dude? Oh, there's a guy up there, too. I almost didn't see that. Thank God he's such a quick draw with his Gatling gun. But ultimately, still useless, because the firing pattern on this thing is... I'm not, like, controlling the left to right movement. That's just how it works.
He can't resist the urge to try and do that, like, cool guy thing. Like, to try and be a Rambo with it.
Cool guys operate their Gatling guns on a swivel. Frappe Fiasco says we killed Alex Mack, and yeah, I think Karma's gonna bite us for that one.
Yes!
That's why the show got canceled. Alright, back to Elliot. Is he still purple? Yeah, he's still purple.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did go back to the lady standing on the table. She doesn't say anything to you after you've recovered. You can't update her and be like, I'm fine, by the way. You should probably get the safety now.
Yeah, I didn't figure as much.
Security camera error.
This is the time when the meteor hit.
Let's check the data.
Well, it looks like I had an error, so I'm not sure what we're going to see here.
It looks like all the dinosaurs are dead.
Dinosaur aisle. Oh? Do you think it's going to crash into it? Do you think that's what's about to happen here? I mean, I guess that's what happened earlier.
Coming through. Wow, that landed perfectly.
It's like a laser pointer directly at whatever that thing down there is. I'm glad this is version 2.01. Version 1.5 of the kinetic orbital simulation system was a rough one, let me tell you.
The meteorite is caught in there.
That is the source of the blue light?
It's down there.
Okay, I guess that's where we're headed.
All right. Load up on our hamburgers and our hassies, I guess.
It's as good a time as any for it. All right, how many are we allowed to buy? Is it going to keep going?
Walk into McDonald's like, I don't see no sign saying maximum number of hamburgers.
You know, we'll cap it at
Keep 'em coming.
$20,000. At $20,000 there. A nice even number that I'll immediately blow by spending on the next thing we can spend on.
Or by killing a single enemy.
That too. Check window partition number 5. Got it.
A blue meteor!
Nephilim. What's the purpose?
Oh, it's obvious. There's something underneath there. The meteor wants to get right through it. The disk we found might tell us something. Hey, we should have Janine check this out.
The gigadent disk.
Oh, we're all good now, by the way. Let all that purple stuff washed off between cutscenes there.
I found a napkin in my pocket. I'm okay now.
I wiped it down. It's all right.
So, hey, there's the reason why we put this on the poll to begin with.
Aliens?
Yeah, alien meteorite.
Santa, come in.
What would you like for a present, little girl?
Yeah.
Elliot, you're alive. I want you guys back here now.
Got it, sugar. I've got a present for you.
Hey, since when have you two gotten so close?
Women love a guy who'll risk his life for adventure.
I'm always saying this. Look who decided to show up again. Has this character done anything? Has Neffy done anything over the course of the campaign, really? Anything
This.
narratively?
That.
He has
Oh.
something to tell you.
She needs help.
What?
We gotta go back.
Back to what? I know there were no doors in there, by the way. Which
Okay,
means...
so either back to Janine?
Oh, I wasn't loaded. I wonder if we'll get knocked off the ladder. That'd be a real dick move.
No, he's coming with you. Never mind.
Oh my god.
All right.
I know I said I wasn't going to say anything negative. I was going to try to. We're going to try to end this on a positive note. 23 hamburgers.
23 hamburger sounds like a positive note to me.
But, you know, I guess it's fair. I guess it is a flying creature. I guess it has the capability to attack us on the ladder.
Oh, look at what you have the capability of doing.
Yeah. I mean, it is a grate. There are grates on the wall behind it. So why even need the ladder? We can just stick our hands between those little vents there.
I like the idea that he's doing this one-handed to show off. Like, he thinks Janine's still watching.
Hey, Janine, look at this. Pretty cool, right, my sweethearts?
I had so many words I wanted to put into Elliot's mouth for things to say to Janine. I'm like, I can't say those things myself. Like...
At least you're not like dogs who's just like, that bitch. Stupid idiot. Women, am I right? Oh, wait, hold on, this is off limits. We can't enter without permission. We work here. Or work adjacent to here. Ugh. All this signage. You think, like, to get onto the island, first of all, it's not like people are swimming there, right? Ah, here we go. And I bet there's 2 more that are soon to descend. Do you think someone who's, like, breaking and entering onto this island, who's come this far, who's made it all the way out to it, would see these signs and be like, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be here. Ooh. Better turn around.
Alright, I got an idea for a sci-fi movie. Alright. It's been bumping around in my head. That last scene that we saw, I think is finally fully formed.
Alright, lay it on us.
Alright, you know all those movies where, like, an asteroid comes to Earth and the scientists have to find a way to stop it?
Yeah.
And, like in your Armageddons and stuff, they, like, send astronauts out to the asteroid. They always do something like that. They try to destroy the asteroid.
Correction, they don't send astronauts out. They send miners out.
They send miners turned astronauts.
Sure.
Anyway, here's my idea for a sci-fi movie, alright? An asteroid's coming, and they're like, alright, we gotta find a way to, like, not get destroyed by this. We're going to drill a hole through the entire Earth from where the asteroid's going to hit, so it just passes through, clean through, all the way and out the other side. And the whole movie is about them trying to dig down, and, like, it's an action movie because they have to deal with the lava and the Earth's core. Yeah. And the Earth's core is, like, actually hollow and has, like, alien technology in it or something. And they don't have time to deal with this right now because of the asteroid, but that's the sequel hook.
Mr. President, we can't dodge the meteor or shoot it out of the sky. But what if? What if it passed right through us?
This feels like it would be an asylum film, right? Like, this would be up their alley, that plot line.
And just call it Donut Earth, because there's a big hole in the middle of it. If you're listening to this sci-fi channel, we're available, I write.
Do they exist still?
They have to, right? I mean, the sci-fi movies have to air on something. Those Sharknado movies have to air somewhere.
Like, I know they're spelled dumb now.
S-Y-F-Y?
Yeah. They still exist, yeah, surprisingly.
I can't believe we had to backtrack all this way, by the way. I can't believe they made us go down that entire path just to turn around and be like, all right, and back. All the way back here. All right. And we can get out of here now.
Okay, you know, we should be better people.
We need to change something. Not just our outfits. Oh, spiffy vest, though. Kiss.
So I looked up Sci-Fi's website for their schedule, and their scheduling ends last week, so maybe they don't exist anymore.
As of last week, it would be hilarious if we're making this and just Sci-Fi died without any notice. No fanfare, no news about it.
I just wanted to see like what kind of programming they had on a day-to-day basis at this point.
It's just cop reruns. They're going the G4 route.
No, actually.
We can't take the truck back, by the way, so we're going to have to hoof it on foot back to Janine, it looks like.
It looks like most of last Tuesday was spent showing a series called The Mechanic, and then both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
The Mechanic? Is that based off like the Charles Bronson?
I don't know. It's just the Mechanic, and then Mechanic Resurrection, and then the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Those Mechanic movies are the Jason Statham Mechanic movies. The reboots of the Charles Bronson Mechanic movie. A mechanic is a hitman. A paid assassin. A hired gun, if you will. A gun for hire, if you will.
That's very weird that the website has like a schedule section and it's from last week.
Well, they'd figure no one's looking at it anyway. They have the analytics back and they're not good. Oh my god, please stop hitting me just for like 1 second. Thank you. There really is no like effective way to deal with these things that we've seen. We've tried shooting at them to no avail.
It seems like juking is just the only option.
Again, cool we couldn't take the truck back. Oh, whoa! That almost went badly.
Yeah. I think you still have some lifelines or whatever they're called.
I reckon I do. Yeah. Oh, wait, I think we actually need to fall off of this. I bet the earthquake... Oh, well, no, I didn't want to do this. Forward, please. Wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Look. Oh, look at that beautiful road. Look at that beautiful paved road. Let's just pass through this bridge and... Oh, no!
You know, it's really hot out. The haze kind of makes an illusion.
So,
like a mirage, almost.
This is where I make some speculation here. I don't think this game was finished. I mean, we know that for a fact already, just based on... you know, the fact that they talked about it in interviews just being like, you know, we didn't get to finish this. We didn't quite have time to implement Janine or so on and so forth. Like, all these things they couldn't do. I am betting that large swaths of this game were rearranged. I am betting that they had to stitch together from these pieces that they had something resembling a finished product, but not quite there. It doesn't quite meet that standard. But, you know, as close as they could come. I think seeing through the doors here and seeing, like, the incomplete areas or not seeing, like, you know, changes that have been made to the environment, that, to me, reads like changes being made really late into the game. Changes being made at the last hour.
Yeah.
Laser gun battery.
He agrees.
We climb back up, or we have to... Okay, good. Johnny Baghead mentioning that this game started development on Saturn and then pivoted to Dreamcast. And yeah, I think that's come up, and again, I believe it. No reason not to believe that.
Oh,
there we go.
Battletech09 asks, so did the game actually sell well? According to Wikipedia, it sold 500,000 copies worldwide. And Sega thought that was a success.
Well, I mean, on the Dreamcast, that's great for Dreamcast numbers, because I can tell you, not a lot of stuff sold. The door broke and became unlocked. You know, that's good enough. Whatever unlocks the door. I don't care how, necessarily. Just as long as it opens. Oh my god, more of this shit. Okay. Any items I'll be missing out on?
Yep, there's one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a life hook. For all the falling we're not going to do.
It would be extremely funny if you died getting it and picked it up and just came out with like a net zero.
Yeah, that'd be an even trade. Everything balances out, Charkie. Oh, excuse me. Fucking
it's a good thing you picked it up. Good thing you picked it up.
There's no way
that
I
one's
wasn't
too
on
thin.
that.
That one's too thin.
I guess so.
I closed the Sci-Fi Channel thing, but most of their movies are like just horror, and not actually sci-fi.
Yeah, that parses.
Although they did have The Boy on there. You ever see The Boy?
Is that the one where the boy lives in the walls?
Yes, that's exactly the one. And he interacts by proxy with a doll.
Spoiler alert, by the way, for a piece of shit movie that you shouldn't have any interest in seeing.
Oh, I remember seeing it, and I remember at the end that I was thinking that they should make a sequel to the film, kind of like the one where the Friday the 13th movie where Jason goes to Manhattan, right?
Okay, sure. That's part 8, yeah.
Yeah, they should have one where the boy from the film escapes the house and hides in walls all around the nearby city and stuff, and terrorize people that way. And they could call it "The Boy Is Back in Town."
Oh, that's good. Unfortunately, they made a boy squeakle already.
Oh.
And I don't believe it was good. I mean, if the first movie was anything to go off of, I don't know how you improve on that, on perfection.
All right. Someone, oops.
This blue light is...
It's coming from Nephilim.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
When you guys were checking the visual record, I was able to access...
Well, you guys. Us gals were over here.
Look at it again.
We're having a girls' night here. Me and Nephilim.
Horizontal line.
This is the Aegis telescope. It gives a bird's-eye view of the island. The meteor hits, digs into the ground, and stops. The meteor hit right through this place called Gigadent. As you can see, it's a crater. Underneath that are 7 layered shutters. The meteor riddled through those and stopped at the 5th layer.
Riddled through those? That's not the right phrase for that.
This meteor wants to move.
That's why her soul took the form of Nephilim.
And she asked you to help.
Wait, are we saying the meteor is sentient?
Why does she want to
Yes.
break the shutter so bad?
The answer is here. In the disc Dr. Kimura kept to himself till he died.
The Gigadent disc.
I think I opened the right file. Yes!
And back to the screen. We couldn't just put the disc in first and then this all is one contiguous scene. Codename Jescone. Arrived in planet Earth 65 million years ago. Began hatching in 2000 AD. Estimated date of hatching completion is 2018 AD. So they knew about this. They had time to prepare for this.
This island is... an egg of the monster?
We're on a freaking dinosaur egg!
It's called Dinosaur Island!
Dinosaur killer. This is the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago.
Remember the big earthquake in 2000? 18 years ago?
Yes, this is the cause. It began to hatch.
If the public finds out about this, the world will erupt into chaos.
Don't they have a fail-safe plan?
Good thinking, tough guy. Kimura Tech did set up a plan.
What is it?
And
Nuke the site from orbit.
a guided missile launching satellite
Oh, I was right.
is locked onto the center of Dinosaur Island in case of an outbreak.
That's impressive.
Remember, Nephilim crashed into the satellite.
There goes the fail-safe plan.
Nephi,
I was thinking the same thing.
we have to drop the Nephilim meteorite.
If we move our mouth right behind her head, we don't have to lip sync it.
Nobody knows that answer.
Wow, what a clever plan. How are you gonna drop a meteorite through 5 layers of shutters?
I have a
From
plan.
space.
Elliot, go to my flat in town and bring me a rifle. I'll tell you why when you get back.
Gotcha.
Here's my ID card. My room number's 201, second floor.
Yeah, I got that from the 2 and the 201, but thank you.
Take care.
You too, Janine. Okay. Which way back to the town, to the city? Are these labeled in any sort of way? S, control area. Control
This is actually
area
where
W.
your map could actually help.
That's adorable, Charkie.
Yeah, that's a city area, right? So you're in the brain area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So brain, right? So I believe it's south.
That's great, Charkie. It's great that you figured out that south.
You realize that
way
the
is
S
south?
on the door means south.
Oh, okay, that does make some sort of sense. Well, I feel stupid after that. But in fairness to me, this game. Take this game, please. Alright, so we're going back to the city. Which means we get to listen to holiday music again. Cue the Mariah Carey.
Yeah, what holiday is this music?
All Hallows Eve. Or a very intense Thanksgiving argument. Don't you just love backtracking, by the way? Isn't it cool and good?
Yeah, I love Devil May Cry 4.
You know, okay. When your game has a lot of backtracking in it, progress doesn't feel like progress. Is a big issue that people have, but maybe don't always articulate about backtracking. When you make a player go back and forth and retread the same steps, even if it's in service of a door they've been like scratching their heads about, being like, I wonder when this unlocks, it's still not satisfying to have to travel back all the way. In addition to it feeling like a waste of time, feeling like it's spinning wheels, it also just straight up feels like you're not making any sort of progress. It just feels like you're not moving forward, because you are, in fact, moving backwards. And every time you move forward, to have to move backwards again, it's just a really unpleasant feeling.
No,
At least for me.
You can make it feel good depending on how you do it. This is not how you do it.
No.
But like in a proper Metroidvania or something where you have like new movement options or like significantly stronger abilities when you go through, so you can like rip through it like way faster or way more easy or something like that, it can feel more gratifying to be like, okay, I've been in this section before, but now I'm just blazing through it.
Now I have like a whole new perspective on it. And I almost thought we had that. I almost thought that with Elliot getting monsterfied and being able to climb up those like pipes or whatever, that we would suddenly like be able to go back and be like, well, now with our monster arms, we can climb all these things and get into areas unseen. No such luck. No dice. I believe this is the right way.
I think people in chat are thinking I don't like the MC4. I do like the MC4. That game is half backtracking.
Oh, you know what? We actually have that oxygen breather now. So we have a bit more breathing underwater. So that's like progress. That's something.
That's exactly what I meant.
It really is like a Metroidvania. All right, take it back. The backtracking's forgiven. All is forgiven in this game. Except for the awful swimming. In fact, I had to mash this button. And now let go so I can swim up. Alright, I think we take this away, and then the next screen, and then... Still gotta figure out where the apartment complex is. I would have no idea about that offhand. But I do know that... They said the city area.
Right, I just don't remember a building that was like, oh yeah, those look like apartments.
We're just gonna have to look around. Fake door. That's the freezer area. We definitely don't want to go there. I always walk into this room, yeah.
It always looks so promising.
It should say restroom somewhere. Then I would know if the door was labeled in any sort of way. That'd be of great help to me. Alright, through the arcade. Is this little girl still here? Yeah, she's, she hasn't budged. And I don't think she will. Because they forgot about her. The developers, that is. They completely forgot they had that little girl be the solution to a puzzle. They forgot about every civilian that we've managed to rescue, that we've managed to find along the way. I guarantee you that there is no payoff to any of them in their stories. Like, there's gonna...
I have to assume...
You go ahead.
I'm just say, I have to assume this game ends with the island exploding.
That's exactly what I was about to say. There is no way this game doesn't end with, like, a huge explosion happening on the island. And all these people presumably dying. Which, you know, for the best, probably.
Well, it shows, like, the island exploding, and it cuts to different parts of the island. The girls are going, it's Christmas Eve!
You know, I think we might be going the wrong way. Unless there's an apartment complex at the end of this.
Oh, this is the bank, right?
Yeah, the bank's here.
Rat's Bar.
Let's see.
Christmas, according
Have
to
we
that
ever
sign.
passed through this? No. Well, I think we have, does Janine, did she give us an ID? No, she didn't give us an ID. She didn't give us an ATM card, though. So we can't plunder her account, unfortunately. All right,
we took all the money there is in the game.
Yeah, so we fucked up. This was clearly not the way, unless there's something, like, obvious I'm missing here.
Well, this has to... She said the flat in town. This is the town, so...
Unless he lives in the bait shop. But no, it's not on the second floor, so it can't be. So I guess we gotta backtrack the way we just came and try the other route through the city. You know what would be just awesome? Just like a marker on the map. That's like, here's where I need you to go. This area here. Let me point it out for you. Let me draw it on your map. Other video games have done this in history. The original Resident Evil did that once. When you have to get the serum for Richard. They literally like open up the map screen and they're like, go here. You need to get to this room. Can you do that? Yes, yes I can.
Can you do that, champ? Do you think you got that in you?
Back we go. Handball Gang Axe, is the map here even worse than Descent to Undermountain? I think you could figure out how to use the Descent to Undermountain map effectively if you really put your mind to it. The map here is just straight up useless because it doesn't even tell you where you are at any point in time. Doseku says map markers would ruin the immersion. You can't feel like a person trapped on an island. It's a research facility. It's just buildings here. It's not like a deserted island. I mean, we're hooked into the system. We're downloading maps and stuff. So whatever, like, you know, feeling of being lost is meant to be here. Also, it's an island we've worked at before. So we would know the lay of the land. To some extent, at least. If not Elliot, dogs certainly would. So I hate to say it, but I don't know if that argument holds up under scrutiny. Sad to say.
You trying to hold your breath with him?
I mean, I can.
I believe in you. It's okay. Do you have a rebreather?
No, but
Like
I can
he
hold
does?
my breath for like 2.5 minutes. That's not enough to get me into the Navy, but it'll do. Again, just admiring the view on the other side of the gate. Okay. What's this way? Oh, nope, cool. Just turn the camera right around. Thanks. Did we ever open this? Nope, there we go. All right, we figured it out. That's progress, baby. And you know what? Let sleeping dogs lie, or whatever these things are. Oh god, these things take so many fucking shots to kill. Stop tossing them at us, game, please. It's not that they're hard. In fact, they're actually really easy because all their attacks whiff, for the most part. You know what?
Yeah, you could leave.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
So is this map worse than Descent to Undermountains? No. I'm gonna say no. I mean, yes. I meant to say yes. I meant to say the exact opposite of what I just said. Yes, the map here is worse than in Descent to Undermountain because at least the map in Descent to Undermountain shows you where you are. I guess you could reasonably intuit where you are, figure out what room you're in approximately based on shape. Except not really, because the shapes of the rooms are completely abstract on the map. Or just like usually like rectangles or circles. Whereas like in the game there's like winding paths and walkways and holes in the ground and impassable objects that just aren't indicated on the map at all. So again, just another point in Descent to Undermountain's favor, because it had elevation, because it was a full 3D thing that you could rotate and see the up and down, the verticality on.
You had first-person view.
Which is the superior view.
Did you never get a map for this? Or is this new? Or
I think this is a map of the apartment complex. Whatever good that'll do us. Let me save, please. It's been a while.
Yes.
Anball Gang says, worst map, worst camera, what other awards does this product win? Worst survival horror game. I'm sticking by that statement.
I don't think this is the worst map in a game. I can't tell you what it would be off the top of my head.
Oh, no, there's definitely worse maps in video games in general. I thought you were going to say this isn't the worst survival horror game. That would have been fighting words for me.
No, I think there's definitely been worse maps and probably worse cameras. Definitely worse cameras. Definitely worse cameras. Again, off the top of my head, can I tell you what those are? No.
Yeah.
Oh, we're full up on whatever ammo that is. That's napalm rounds, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Johnny Baggett says it wins the award for worst swimming sections in the survival horror game. It certainly does. This door is locked. That's what I get for trying the other door.
That's weird. I was just kind of crunched down something in my mouth from the pizza. Like, you know, had a little pizza left in there. And I crunched, and it was real spicy. And that's weird, because there was nothing spicy in that pizza.
Spicy tomato.
Oh, you know, those green peppers, so spicy.
I think I'm gonna have to knock back a few hassies here, and I'll drink up in real life too. That's immersion right there, folks. Rumble's a last gen feature, but eating and drinking at the same time that your character's doing it in game, that's current gen. That's future tech. I'm done with the shotgun.
I'm fully
We are
aware
better
of
off
what I'm doing.
using the
Can't you
handgun.
see?
All right, now I'll have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing.
I'll have two
Can't
drinks.
you see?
Which is to say, I'll just
Keep drinking.
drink for slightly longer.
Let me beat you to death with a stun rod. Why are you being so difficult about this?
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can't you see?
I can do this one-handed. I can just keep pressing the X button. Right. Mm-hmm. This door is locked. All right, apartment 201. Again, great camera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this just a dead end? Oh, is this just like a fuck me? Like for going through that door? Cool, 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 cool. Wait, that can't be right though, because I love not being able to aim because the camera is so cool and good. You know, fuck it. Let's go back through the door. Let's heal.
Yeah.
I don't want to die here, even though we did just save. Thank God the hamburger's a full heal, I tell you that much. Alright, what are we missing here? I'm gonna quick save. Can't negotiate around that.
No.
I have to hope I'm hitting something. Again, no camera adjust in this. No way to manually adjust the camera here. Because why would you need to?
This is just reminding me I have to go kill so many Bonabras in Monster Hunter later.
Oh my god, just die already. Leave me alone. Leave me in peace. You fucking bugs. Oh my god, I thought I was done with it. Okay.
There we are. There we are. Can you break it with your stun rod? No? This ain't like a Demon Souls thing?
Well, it has to be something, because this is the only way. This is the only route I can think of. Let's just see what happens. I don't have high hopes for this. Yeah, that's about what I thought. Okay. It was a good suggestion, just did not pay off. Alright, look around the room. It's a room.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump over this to the other? No?
No way.
I mean, I could. But Elliot can't. And that's a him problem, not a me problem. Can I climb up these? I don't know why I would need to, but... Okay, let's check every room in here. We know we're in the right building. There's just... I have no idea. Did we miss something in this room? It's all I can think of. Something in one of these lockers. No. Reset the circuit breaker? No. What the fuck could it be? What are we missing here? There's only so many rooms we can explore here. Let's check the map of the apartment area. First floor. There's a whole section we can't get to. Second floor. More rooms we can't get to. Oh, there's a basement.
Oh, second floor going down.
Second floor going down?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like, you said there's a basement. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's on the second floor downwards.
Oh,
the basement.
Bag asks if this vest that Elliot is rocking, if it does anything gameplay-wise, like the vest in like Resident Evil 4 does. I'm gonna guess no. Call me crazy, I'm gonna say no.
He didn't always have that, right?
No, in the beginning of the game it was just the t-shirt.
It might do something. Very barely anything, but it might do something.
There has to be something we're missing. I don't even know what I would be trying or doing here. I need you to look up a video, something, anything. Because I'm already stumped. I mean, this would be so easy to climb over. You know, I know it's a video game. I know you can't do everything in a video game. But, you know, I could just stand on this and leap across. If this was real life, and I made it this far, which I'm sure I would. I'm way more competent than Elliot could ever be.
We have to find the answer.
Say something
by
nice.
ourselves.
It's cool that we have a vest. I don't know. It's like a character change. It's fun that they've had fun with the character model. That they've changed it slightly, ever so slightly. Oh, you know what it is? I know exactly what we need to do. And I hate it because it's one of those things that you wouldn't do if you could help it.
Oh, kill these guys?
Absolutely, right? One of them has a key card. Right?
Let's see. No, I don't see that in the guide, but then again, the guide is never really said, you need to kill this enemy to get this thing.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
This guide is unusable. Alright, videos. Videos instead.
Yeah, something, anything. Check this room here. We've done everything we can do in this wing. Outside? Maybe there's another building in the vicinity here that we...
It says something about the movie theater, actually, so...
There was a slot to insert a ticket. We don't have a movie ticket. Can we buy a movie ticket from here?
There you go.
You bought a movie ticket.
You might actually need to go into the theater and then into the building from the theater.
I just want to see what's over here. And probably not waste precious bazooka ammo. But, you know, we might as well explore every avenue available to us. Frappe Fiasco asks, is this a blue stinger or a blue stinker? Oh, Frappe, you haven't been here for the previous 3 episodes, so I can in fact tell you this is a blue stinker. This may be one of the most frustrating games I've played in some time. But again, positive mental attitude I'm trying to maintain here as much as possible until the game invariably throws something at me that makes me mad again. There's nothing in this area. There's nothing to do here. Look at this thing.
Yeah, it's gonna try to kill you.
Well, it can try. Good luck, idiot.
No, he paid for a ticket too.
Oh, shit. I wonder if I can kill this thing from the other side of the...
What is...
Ow.
I can't tell what this video is doing.
Well, we've made it to the movie theater, so at least I have, like, an idea of where and what we need to do. Anything behind this?
Okay, this is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where you're supposed to be. You got a boss fight coming up.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you do.
First-person mod. Resident Evil 7 VR, eat your heart out. Oh, we got it. Okay.
Okay.
Check the projection room. Absolutely nothing in here. You know, it's here for immersion's sake, though. A real theater would have a room like that, so... In this game's attempts at realism, it has to have that. Alright, here's a boss. I am Headful says, can you take a look at those posters? I will, on the way back. Now, luckily, the boss fights in this game have mostly been not a problem. I don't foresee that changing anytime soon.
We fought this exact thing before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, no, they're recycling enemies like a motherfucker at this point. What was the most creative monster we fought? It's the car monster. It's the car snail monster. That's it. Or the car crab. Whatever it is. The one that uses the car as a shell that it comes in and out of. Oh, I think this is going to do it for a napalm gun ammo in a second. Okay. Should we use some bazooka rounds on this thing? You know, we're so close to the shopping mall. We can just fill up the ammo in all these guns at some point. Oh, come on. The aim is so bad in this game because you have no control over it. Elliot just kind of picks a direction that he feels like shooting in. No, like, lock-on whatsoever. In case it wasn't obvious from looking at me whiff all these shots. Or in case you thought it was my fault that the shots were getting whiffed. No, it's not. I'm perfect. I can do no wrong. Stairway switch key. Do you want to push the switch? You hear something behind you. I think we changed the room. In some way. Some form or fashion. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, there you are. They like doing that in this island, don't they? I feel like we've seen that before in Rat's Place.
A lot of hidden passages. You don't have any room for this item. Do I have room for a cheeseburger? Goddamn right I do. I mean, it's probably not good. I mean, how long has this hamburger been sitting there for? This guy didn't die because of the meteor crashing. He died here years ago. They've been looking for him ever since. No one ever thought to open the staircase back up underneath the movie theater. Unfortunate for him. You couldn't cut to us at the top of the elevator.
No.
No, we needed that interstitial scene. We absolutely needed that. We absolutely had to have that there.
Have you ever heard of pacing? Of course we did.
You know what? When you're right, you're right. Elliot shrugging his shoulders while getting doused in acid from the thing above him. Are we in the apartment building at this point?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe the map will tell you.
I don't want to get spit on. Not like this, anyway. Not by an alien. Or
Don't knock
monster.
till you tried it.
Oh, no, hold on. It's other way. Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Alright, where are these items? I guess that was worth it. Handball Genki's thinking of the obnoxiously long ladder from Charlie's Angels, which you played on here.
Mm-hmm.
Memories. I just have to assume I'm hitting something here. It's hard to tell because the camera is so wonderful. Is this the worst decision? This may not be the worst camera of all time. It's up there. It's certainly not good. But is the decision to take a game that was always intended for fixed camera and then in the localization process make it a behind-the-back camera that does not work, is that one of the dumbest decisions ever made? In game development, in design.
When you make a statement like that, it gets me thinking, like, I've surely had to have seen worse, right? I certainly had to have seen worse, like, localization, like, design difficulty things, but...
It's Christmas! Upset because your ID card wouldn't work, huh? Well, then come on over to our party! Look, we played a little trick on your ID card. Otherwise, we knew you'd never come.
Great, more bullshit.
John and Nick. Bye-bye!
Damn you!
She's nothing but trouble.
Hey, this ain't her fault. Let's go to the party.
Fuck it, let's go to a party.
Let's get drunk. Wait, so that does raise a question. How do we get to whatever room this was? What room did they say the party was in? Can we find a directory that says what room that, what were their names? Ned and,
Something.
No, I don't want to die here. So another hamburger it is. We are running low on some ammos, though. There must be something... some other side to this, some other angle on this. Oh, I used Janine's ID card, and now it works on that door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I totally don't have ammo. That's right.
Party's dead.
The scene is dead. Alright, so which one of these guys is Ned and which one's the other one?
And how many hamburgers they have on them?
Never enough. Oh.
I'm glad they let us know what kind of party it was.
Oh, a Christmas party! Oh! I forgot this game took place during Christmas. Why is there a cake? Or, no, that's not a cake, that's a platter. Can we eat whatever's under there? It's just a bunch of hamburgers. It's...
It's a bunch of hamburgers and Hassie, and you missed an item on the ground.
Did I miss an item?
Yeah.
Well. Nope. Bazooka rounds in the fireplace. That doesn't seem safe. Merry Christmas!
Jack Frost nipping on your nose.
Merry Christmas, I got you gasoline. I'm just gonna put it right by the fireplace.
Okay, there's also an item on the lady by the door, I believe.
Again, it's really hard to spot this shit because a Again, awesome camera.
Okay,
I love it. And again, I know I've had to deal with people who've made the claim that the fixed camera is worse than this camera is, which I just cannot buy. Nick's ID card. I saw another glowy in one of these planters here, so that got us there.
So I bet Nick's card works on Janine's door. Because I bet he likes just switch the two cards.
Yeah, probably. But that's not going to stop me checking every door in this hallway here that we haven't explored fully yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, go to the kitchen, get yourself a hamburger.
Oh, another ID card. Okay. I mean, this is our apartment building now, I guess.
We have free run of the place. Access to every room. Alright, here's John's room. I'm assuming John is like the chef, I guess? Ooh.
Welcome.
Kind of tacky. You know, maybe it's for the best that John's dead. I don't know. I'm looking at this room and... Well, stuck behind some tires. Let me just climb up on these tires here so I can pick up the living room key off of this cardboard cutout. What's on the ceiling here? Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Here's a bed that no one has ever had sex in. I can guarantee you that much. Let me just jump out the window to my death, please. BattleTank09 asks, do people think that fixed 3D is bad for Fatal Frame, or they meant to say tank controls? I mean, I'd take Fatal Frame over this, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
The way it controls.
Like, I don't know, Fatal Frame... Like, I don't like tank controls necessarily, but I don't have a problem playing Fatal Frame, so I don't think that's...
Thank you, Nick, for your sacrifice, so we can go into your room and, check father... This isn't high resolution enough to be readable at all. What a dweeb. Party memo. Well, I gotta read that. What does he have in his bed? A water gun. To what end?
The most powerful gun in the game.
Finally, endgame. Wait, is this the right way? Yes, it is, I think. Maybe, possibly. Probably not. We still can't open... Nick's key does not work on Janine's door, so our initial theory was incorrect. Now, if I look at the party memo, there's probably like some sort of hint here. Or maybe the water gun. Info. This toy water gun is useless without any water. We still have blood on us. Defrosted blood. In case we get thirsty. Nick, I will enter through the chimney in a Santa outfit at 7 o'clock. Please make sure the fire is out before 7. Thanks, John. Okay. Back to the fireplace, then? I would imagine.
Just wait for 7 o'clock and wait for some cool shit to happen.
Oh, we still had this key. We still had the living room we could gain access to. Oh, they probably mean this fireplace, don't they? Wait, hold on.
Oh.
You want to put water in the water gun?
Oh, to this end. Oh god, there's totally a skeleton in there, isn't there?
What, in the bath?
No.
Oh, you mean
put out
he's going to be burnt to a crisp?
Oh, no, there's a ladder.
Why was he wiping the sweat off his brow like that was... The water gun is still filled with water. Man, that's an impressive tank. It's an impressive reservoir on that thing. No such luck. No burned Santa corpse here. No fun. This feels like I shouldn't be able to do this. It feels like I really shouldn't be able to hit that thing from where I was hitting it from. But you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's too hot. Can we spray it with the water gun? Would that help? Maybe we just blow on it very gently, like you do with hot soup. We can get the temperature down just enough.
What? Huh?
Hey, what's this?
None of your business.
But this lady holding a baby, she's an Easter shooting instructor.
Jean King. My ex-wife.
Then the baby is...
Janine. My daughter.
What?
No, you're kidding. Wow, the plot thickens. Why did you get a divorce?
It hardly seems like the time.
I forgot what it was all about. Besides, it was 20 years ago. Jean was so hard-headed. She got sick and passed away.
Crazy. I really feel for Janine.
Fucked up shit.
Keep your hands off that girl.
Don't try to run my life, dogs.
What do you say?
Let's go. Janine's waiting.
Well, what were his eyebrows doing there? He's about to give us a people's eyebrow. All right, so Dogs is Janine's father.
Yep.
Father of the year.
Yeah.
Between him and the dad from, what's it called? The Quiet Man. It's...
Oh, I was gonna say The Last of Us.
That too. Okay, so we went...
Although people actually defend him.
Wait, so how come Janine's apartment gets 2 doors that lead to it? How come she gets, like, this luxury suite that has direct access to the stairwell as well as that other direction? Unfair, if you ask me. Do you think Dogs is still gonna call his own daughter a bitch? Do you think he's gonna...
Yeah. I've missed you, bitch.
This door's still locked. I'm sure we'll have to come back here in a few minutes' time. But I do want to go to that movie theater. I do want to see some of the movies playing or the posters they have. As was requested, I did not forget. We picked up that sniper rifle, by the way. That's what we came here for. Please don't kill me. Okay. Let's take a look. Love Target. Will about your beard. Fod pure dope bevy.
Food, poor, doog, love.
Love Target. All right, next in line. Coming soon, the 24th of December. Oh, it screened yesterday. That's a horrible day for a debut for Blackland. Then there's Razorheart. Coming soon, 24th of December. All these movies opening day before Christmas.
Yeah. You're about to get hit in the ass.
Blood Bee. All right, that's what's playing at the local movie theater.
Right.
That's what's playing at your Cineplex right now, folks. Oh my god, it's just a connector between the apartment complex and the... Okay, there we go. So the apartment complex and the movie theater are linked together. There's the answer. Why that door need to be locked from the other side, who knows? But I think we've done everything we needed to do here. I think we should do some shopping on the way back, to be sure.
Yes.
Because who knows if we'll have any occasion to come back here. I don't want to come back here. I don't want to backtrack anymore. We got 20,000 bucks. That should be enough to buy full ammo for everything. Maybe a few more healing items. Oh god, the camera again.
Camera, yeah.
Ah! I love it, Charkie.
I know you've been missing this game.
I'm looking forward to... We already know what our next Thursday stream is going to be. We're not putting it up to Patreon vote this time.
Yes.
I need a breather. I need a reprieve. I need something. I need some me time away from Patreon voted games. I need to control the deck, and I'm looking forward to what we have coming up. It's going to be a special one.
We are doing a Patreon poll for our next long-form series.
That's true. Can you sell them on that while I purchase a bunch of goods?
Sure. Let me go get the exact information on that. I do know it, but I don't remember what you're calling them. Okay, so right now, for our patrons, our Twitch subscribers, our Discord boosters, we are doing a poll on our next long-form series that we do on Saturdays. Previously, we had done the entire Symbol 2000 series. Recently, we just finished up the entire LJN publisher catalog. Our next one, we're putting it to a vote, is Misadventures in Microcomputing, which is based on European home computers and kind of like a history of that.
Yep, going computer by computer and then just checking out some of the best and worst that those computers had to offer. We're still working on a format for it. I might do it on a year-by-year basis sort of thing. I don't know. Still needs to be worked on if it wins.
And the other one that we have up for poll is called Eurose a Day. We're not doing... I don't think we're going to do just one game per stream.
No, that's going to be like 30 or 40 per stream, because the Net Eurose demos are all pretty brief. There's maybe a few full quote-unquote games on it, but ultimately we're going to play everything that's available. Yeah,
and to be clear, Net Eurose was like a home dev kit for PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So we'd be playing through everything that was developed in not everything developed, just
everything archived. There are very comprehensive archives, but not complete archives. There's still some stuff missing. Whatever never got posted, Whatever people never finished to a degree that they wanted to post it on their personal websites that you had when you had a Net Eurose account, when you had a Net Eurose access, when you had the dev kit. They said, all right, you can run a personal page where you can put up whatever you produce that people can access and download, other Net Eurose owners. And then a lot of those games made it to demo discs, especially in the European scene. So that's where a lot of the stuff is preserved from.
So the votes between those two, right now, it's close enough that there are enough people who could vote to swing it one way or the other still. But if you want to have your vote, then, sign up for the Patreon, subscribe on Twitch, boost on Discord, and you can vote in the Patreon Saints channel. I think the poll is also on Patreon, right? Is that correct?
It is. I think it's... I realize I present an opportunity for Patreon supporters to have two votes effectively.
Yeah, I realize that now as I was saying it.
It's alright. I'm fine with it. Because Patreon is, if we're being transparent here, it is the best way to support the channel. We get the most cut of it. Twitch takes a cut, but we would like to get the Twitch subscribers up because having a higher number of subscribers on Twitch drives the algorithm to do more with our channel. So there are reasons to subscribe to either or. But I don't know. That's a little inside baseball-y anyway. And we get enough inside baseball just talking about how much we dread these games and playing them sometimes. That's already the inside scoop. Okay, I stocked up on all the ammo we could. I think we have enough hamburgers to last us. I think it's time to head back to Janine. And blow this pop stand. Yeah, they're gonna have a weird family reunion, huh? They're gonna have a weird... I think Janine already knows, though, because she has that pendant. That locket.
Yeah, she knows.
Why hasn't she said anything? Why is she keeping it secret? To build suspense. Because narratively, she needs to. For the purposes of having a twist in the third act.
Most things I do are for narrative purposes.
That's true. Ow. Alright, I think we're back to the shuttle port, if memory serves. Because we gotta meet up with Janine and hand her off that rifle that we picked up. And with any luck at all, this means that we're heading to some sort of endgame. Alright, fuck this. Long way around. cut as close to this as we can. God. Other bad survival horror games. You know, this really is setting the bar pretty low. I think we still need to play that Amy game all the way through. I know that one is revived. I've played enough of that to be like, oh, there's something off with this for sure. But, I don't know, so far this is still winning.
We need to play Overblood, I know that.
Yeah, and we need to pour one out for Peepo when the time comes.
Spoilers.
Oh, it's the only thing anyone knows about that game. It's the enduring legacy of that game.
Who is it?
Elliot.
What's the code?
This is a present from me to you.
Thank you, Slime Generator, for gifting a sub to Handball Gang.
What took you so long? And what's that smell? You guys practicing to be Santa Claus?
Is that any way to talk to your father?
Janine.
I'll be out for a while.
Fuck y'all.
Staring contest, go.
Janine?
Ooh. Okay. We're fine. It's fine.
Just clip right through. Don't have any effect for that in this pre-rendered cutscene.
Janine.
Dad.
What a poorly defined nose you have, my daughter. I guess you get that from me. The complete lack of nostrils. Where the fuck are we? If we take a step forward, are we gonna die? That's my worry when the camera looks like this. Let's a quick save just to be extra safe.
Oh, okay, you're fine.
God, scared the shit out of me though. That's for certain.
Here's the plan.
They're gonna get all the mileage they can out of this graphic, out of this.
Shutter runs on hydraulic tidal power.
It changes with the ebb and flow of the tide.
Yes, part of the pump is exposed. When we destroy this and let the pressure out, the rest of the shutters should open up.
Enough with the theory. How can we destroy that?
Hold on. See? We get to the top of the wave tower and shoot the pump with a long-range rifle.
I'm glad they have a diagram for the rifle, as if they accounted for someone using a rifle to blow up that thing. But only that specific model of rifle. No other rifle will do.
Oh, she's Jean's kid. She's a genius when it comes to shooting.
Look at him. Now he's a doting parent. Janine, how can we get to the wave tower?
Janine, did you know he called you before he knew that you were his daughter?
Tidal power water pump. We'll get out from a south door to the end of the tunnel. It's already programmed to unlock the door.
Can you walk?
Pretty much.
Let's go.
Remember, she had a leg injury at the beginning of the game.
I should say, you're in your 20s. I would have expected that, but just to make sure.
Okay, let's check these. I think we're going east. Because I think we need to go back to the open desert-looking area with all the gates and the lasers and the... Yeah, this area. Where specifically in this area? Who's to say? I think we might need to cross those broken, busted up like bridges and stuff again. Which would suck if that's the case, but I don't put anything past this game. It really is that mean, that conniving. Because I think I remember there was a door called Tower, or labeled as Tower. And that has to be the tower they're talking about, right?
Sure. Oh, Oh, I didn't see the thing there.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm a pro when it comes to...
Comedic timing?
Yeah. Alley-oop. All right, I learned my lesson with the small pipe, big pipe. There's another screen of that, so that's part 1 done. Now on to part 2. Oh. Will this work? Well, it's hard to angle the camera exactly how I want it, because tapping the analog stick or D-pad will send you at least like 10 degrees in another direction. Yeah. Which is why they give you so many of those goddamn life ropes, or rescue ropes, whatever they're called.
Life hooks. They know it's a bad system.
Whoa. It's really gonna make me face that way? It was really gonna make me face the wrong direction on this? I'm Headful says, you're not gonna like to hear this, but this is not the way. Oh, whatever. Oh my god, I can't walk past it. Oh my god, I can't walk past that thing, and I can't pick it up either. Oh my god, it's just like a dead end because of this stupid fucking item in the way. Ugh.
They said it's the wrong way, right? So...
Yeah, I'm still convinced that I could probably get to that thing. I want to see what that door do. And you know, worst case scenario, I turn around, or I load that save, and we're here. And I'm just problem solving like a player like back in the day would have tried to. This is probably a thought that entered more than one player's minds. If they're mindful, if they were paying attention to what doors are locked and what they're labeled as and stuff. This is a reasonable assumption to make. Unfortunately, it means we gotta weave through these things again. Artful dodging on my part. I can't wait for this to not be the right door. For all this to be a huge waste of time. Make it to the end of this hallway. We'll have made it to the end of this hallway.
You know, keep manageable goals.
Set reasonable expectations for yourself and for the playthrough. Oh, right, this is the way with the truck, isn't it? The truck's gonna be in the next room. And that's not where we want to be. But I know there was something we passed by. Could it be, like, on this side of it? Is this just gonna be, like, the interior of the lab? Yeah, okay, so that's wrong. What the fuck? Where are we going then? Oh, I hate it. I hate it, Charkie. There's one more door I'm gonna try.
Alright.
There's one more spot here, then I'll just load the save up and backtrack from that save state. Actually, you know what? I know for a fact this isn't going anywhere. Whatever. Like, imagine, like, playing this legit, though, and just having to be like, well, I went all this way for nothing, now time to go all the way back and probably expend a few more life ropes because the platforming is so precarious in this game. But hey, you know, it's worth it because having to go back and forth over this... Fuck you! Oh, you're telling me I fell through that hole? You're telling me I fell through this little crack here, the one that's not big enough for Elliot to fall through? You're telling me I fell through that? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Uh-oh. God, this is so precarious.
I ain't even sweating it. Oh, right. Did we cross that, or did we cross... I think we crossed this. This seems safer. This seems like the safer bet, anyway. Again, awesome control. I can only imagine what this section was like in the fixed camera version of the game, the Japanese release. It can't be worse than this. It really can't. I cannot buy the arguments that people have made that this is somehow worse than the fixed cameras presented in the original game. Because, you know what the original camera placements had that this doesn't? They had authorial intent behind them. That even if they weren't, like, the best cameras, they were at least placed deliberately by a team that was, like, you know, consciously designing something with those camera angles in mind, you know? And to just completely, like, strip that to be like, actually, we're just gonna give players free camera. And, or not free camera, because that would imply you have control of the camera, and that is not the case. Would someone like to tell us which way we need to go?
Please.
It's not this way. I know that much. I don't think it's any of these satellites. I guess that leaves here. You have to go to the S door, then straight ahead. So not this way? Okay. How would I know that, though? How would we know where to go? What did Janine say that was like, oh, by the way, let's head this way? There's just never any of that at any point. And it stinks. Because it leaves you, like, banging your head and doing all this backtracking and going around in these circles because the game just refuses to tell you. And again, I'm going to speculate that the reason the game doesn't tell you any of that stuff is because they rearranged the entire world at some point in development. Because at some point, they were like, we don't have time to finish. We had these areas in mind that players were going to go to and walk through. We're going to have to cut these or take rooms from them and put them in other places in the game.
The capsule on board only holds 2.
Then you two get in.
Why?
Dogs is not the best swimmer, and your leg is injured.
We'll wait for you.
No, don't. Work on destroying that pump.
Got it.
Great reaction to that.
Why?
What a giving partner.
On you, hon. Look at that. A family reunion.
Shut up.
I'll
This-
turn on the switch.
What kind of transport vehicles? Why would you need to lay flat? Why can't it just have seats? Are we just gonna follow them? Are we just gonna swim after them?
Wait, I wanted to surf on top of it. Come back.
Yeah, why didn't we just do that? It had room for 2, but, you know, it had all the room in the world on top of it. Oh, I wonder, can we change... You can't change characters right now. No shit. Alright. Get your swim on. You know, you have to have one last swimming section in your game. I mean, you don't want to waste the mechanic, God forbid. Get our breath back. Oh, look, it's an enemy. Wait, hold on. Can I get on top of this and not have to swim anymore? Oh, thank God. Wait, so how did Janine and Dogs get past this? Did it just, like, pass right through, or over, or under, or...
Buzzsaws that come out of the front of the safety raft. If there's anything we learn about these, like, the safety mechanisms in this place, is that they're not safe.
No, they're deadly. At best. Can't pick this up, because it's, yeah. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Alright, back on top. Oh, again, good camera. As we head around this bend. Keep an eye out for any other items in the water there on the floor. All these camera cuts, all these like changing environments to load what is effectively the same room. What is effectively the same exact room, like 4 times in a row so far. There's got to be a better way. I will say, thank God there are walkways here, so you don't actually have to swim this entire thing. I pity the fool who did not recognize the ability to climb up on these walls and who played this the way it was meant to be played, supposedly, or theoretically, ostensibly, and just swam the whole length of the thing. That would suck. Oh, now I think we're out of walk-in space. Yep, now we gotta swim the rest of the way. Now we're like those plebs. Like those suckers. We're treading water, Charkie.
Slowly but surely. Game doesn't want to see us go. Game's gonna miss us. Okay, I thought it was like, why did the music cut? Oh, never mind. Boy, this was pointless.
Again, you had to squeeze another swimming section in.
Elliot, can you hear me?
Did you hit the pump?
No, the elevator stopped and we're locked in.
Hang tight. I'll be right there.
There's an elevator.
You know why the camera is staticky?
Why?
Why Janine's portrait isn't coming in?
I apologize for this mess.
Relax.
Oh, good lip syncing there. Janine's voice coming out of Elliot's mouth. Good job.
Yeah.
By the way, the time is 17:30 according to Elliot's watch. So duly note that. The reason the camera is staticky there is because they didn't draw a different background behind Janine for her talking from any other room than the hub. That's absolutely why. I know for a fact I nailed that in one. I just know that they're just like, rather than drawing a background, what if we just made, like, say there's interference happening, say that there's bad reception here, or you have the character say it? No. Players will just intuit it. All right, one last chance to stock up on stuff, it looks like. Anything we need? Oh, they're selling us life hooks. I'll pick up 3. And a save. This feels like a good time for it. As we near the 8-hour mark on this save file. And let's see if there's any items lying around here. Anything around the base of the tower here. That's where the elevator is. Headful points out there is an elevator controller at the top of the tower. So think about that for a second. That if you need to control the elevator, that if there's an issue with the elevator, all you need to do is get to the top of the elevator.
It's the quickest way to the bottom floor.
Yeah, this GoldenEye Rogue Agent taught us.
Yeah.
Can I just walk off the side of this? Can I plummet to my death here? Well, not to my death, because we have the life rope, but
yeah,
good to see that works. And now just load my save so that doesn't actually happen. Reject that reality. Alright, so there's a monster here, but to what end? Why would we need to go this way? I don't think we need, because the ladder's on this side. Is there an item over there or something? Let's take a look. No.
Every time the music just stops, I get, like...
worried?
I don't know, nervous? Yeah.
I don't have any room for this item. Alright, see the ladder over there. Oh! There they go. Guess there's no going back that way. If you want to get back down to ground floor, there's only one way. It's the quickest way, luckily. I love how the first thing the camera does is point you... Let me just see. Let's say you were holding forward. That's what I thought.
Yep.
This means you have to let go of every button on the controller every time you screen transition. Otherwise, you're in for a bad time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they were trying to teach us that lesson with all the doors that you, like, walk through, then the camera faces you right towards the door you came through. Like, all that shit that we've pointed out, like, a million times so far. I guess that was just setting us up for this. Stealing us for this.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the impact site that they've been talking about over there in the distance, over yonder? Or maybe it's just a big satellite dish.
Yeah, it's unrelated. Actually, you know, they called it the Gigadent, which I guess because Crater didn't sound cool enough.
No, it's because they were privy to that Giga Chad meme, and they're like, well, how do we work this into our base? How do we pay homage to this hilarious meme from the year 2018, which this game takes place in?
I mean, you're right. You're right about that.
What if this game predicted modern memes? What if, like, in 28, they said this game takes place in 2018, then it's called a bunch of just, like that weird, like, bee thing that people were, like the image, like, the crispy, extra toasted JPEGs or whatever the fuck. Oh my god, I can't believe I fell for that.
It wasn't even I needed.
It wasn't even I could pick like, up, for Christ's sakes.
Janine's like, take a look at this video I found. They did surgery on a grape.
Whoa! 1 foot in the air, 1 foot in the grave. Oh my god, how many floors is this? 100? What are we doing here? Just get us to the top. Whoop! Okay, so I absolutely need to cross that, because there's no room to walk around this. Which means I guess I gotta snipe this thing. I have to hope I'm hitting it. I think I hit it. I bet those girders are going to fall as I try to cross them again. Wow, can I call him or can't I call him?
Careful.
Oh, thank God, I think we made it to the top. Oh, wait, no, there's still a ladder. One more rung to go, maybe? Might as well check this floor, though. I'm the king of the world! Beautiful. All right.
You think you make that jump?
Yeah.
Get into the Gigadent from here?
Running jump, if you please. Yeah. Wait, hold on. What's inside of this? Monsters? Monsters. Save system all the way at the top of this. Something tells me this might be the last one.
Oh man. Can you imagine? Yes. This ending?
I can picture it. I kind of have an idea of how it's gonna go.
Good.
Okay. Thought that was it. Thought that was going straight to the ground level.
Oh, they already got out. So I guess those monsters behind that thing are largely irrelevant.
Elliot.
Whoa! Did you see dogs there? Ah, there we go.
I need 3 minutes to set up the rifle. Another 45 seconds to aim and fire 3 rounds. Can you hold off the monsters for that long?
How does it take you 3 minutes to set up a rifle?
20 minutes to heat up this pizza.
Oh, another time section. You know what? Since this seems to be the final boss fight...
Which, can I tell you, it's not the final boss fight.
Alright, cool. That's probably for the best. But I can tell what the section's gonna be, and that this is actually the time where the Gatling gun is effective. If I just let her rip here. Oh, they're actually attacking Janine. She wasn't flinching at all. Brave girl. Nothing's gonna stop her assembling that rifle. Are these things gonna die at any point?
It's a BB Gatling gun.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Stop hitting my daughter. She is a trooper, though. Oh, this is bad. Jesus Christ, they're massacring her.
Jeez. Can you toss her a steak or something?
Let's get her health up. Alright, how about this?
Oh my god, it's only been a minute.
Incredible encounter. The tension, I don't know about you, it's palpable. You can cut it with a knife. I mean, I had the right idea in the sense that the Gatling gun, like, stuns them. It's not doing any fucking damage. Yes. But as long as I have at least 2 minutes worth of ammo left for it.
I mean, they're still getting hits off on her. Like, this will not be a successful run. I hate to spoil it. Can they fucking die, please? What are these enemies?
Okay, cool. Johnny Baggett says, oh, I bet they couldn't program enemies to respawn for this encounter, so instead of fighting waves, they just make the 2 enemies invincible. Wouldn't that just be wretched? Wouldn't that just be the worst?
I have a feeling that's what it is.
And so we can't let them get close to Janine. I think the Gatling gun worked. It was just I let them get past, and I just can't let them get past. I just got to stand directly in front of Janine. Right. Keep that Gatling gun ripping.
Yes!
Were you forced to play as dogs in that? Remind me.
No, it felt appropriate, though, because, you know, we're protecting our daughter. I don't know if Elliot's going to do any better with the bazookas or whatever, because those are take so long to fire.
I was wondering about, like, the stun rod is what I was thinking. But that might not be great against 2.
Elliot.
Janine.
I'm going to quick save at the end of this conversation so we don't have to hear it again ever. Because I'm sure there's going to be more failed attempts here.
I need 3 minutes to set up the rifle. Another 45 seconds to aim and fire 3 rounds. Can you hold off the monsters for that long?
Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, what else do we have here? Shotgun, napalm gun. Yeah, none of this stuff is particularly useful. I think our best bet is, in fact, this Gatling gun and just taking up a primo position. Actually, have to make sure I change characters.
Gotcha!
All right. So what have you been up to, Charkie? How's your day going? We got 3 minutes to kill here. Oh, sorry, 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Well, I woke up pretty late. I had to finish... Actually, real early this morning, I had to finish editing an article for a website. Yeah, not great. Not great. I had a lot of shit I had to fix. Particularly, like, every single hyperlink was incorrectly formatted. So I had to track down what the actual website was and fix it.
Always fun. I always love doing that kind of editing.
And then I woke up and Balatro was out. So I've been playing that. I don't know how much you would like it. If you like poker, I don't know how much you would like it.
I like card games
it's not
in
really
general.
Poker. but I think it's fun. Like I had this, like I don't know the winning strats yet for everything, but my most recent run had this thing where I got a card that made it so that you can make a straight even if you skip a card. So like,
well, it's not a straight then.
Well, it's you get jokers, which change the rules in your favor.
Okay.
So you can get, like, with that card, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a straight. Or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is a straight.
Okay. Tiger Chimera, hold on, I hate to cut you off, but Tiger Chimera says, imagine someone doing this legit and maybe not having max Gatling ammo. I think this is meant to drain all your ammo. I think this is meant to be like here's an endgame check. All the ammo you have, dump it out, and, you know, this is endgame. And then Louise PSC, I'm wondering other ways to solve this. The other ways to solve would just be, like, you know, very much on top of it. Probably using up precious bazooka ammo and napalm ammo just, like, send them flying backwards. I mean, I'm sure there are ways. Sorry, continue.
Anyway. So, like, okay, I just pulled it up right now. What my current set of jokers is. So, straights can skip any one card, and like as many times per thing. So like 10, 8, 6, 5, 3 is a straight. But also, if for every odd number card, that adds 31 chips. So if I do a straight, that's all odd cards. I get that much, and then I get a bonus for every time that I have played the same poker game. So if I keep playing straights, I get more and more bonuses.
Like a chain?
Like a chain, yeah. And if I've already played a hand within the round that I'm in, I get another bonus on top of that. So it's about just like stacking all these bonuses on top of each other. So I'm really enjoying it. It only took me like a couple rounds before I was like, yeah, I'm hooked on this thing.
Very good. I will give it a shot.
How are you feeling about this? You hooked?
13 seconds left. This feels like it was like 10 minutes long. So has she fired any of the 3 shots yet?
Here we go.
Here it comes. Whoop, goodbye.
Oh, we kicked him off the ledge. It really was just those 2 enemies. Why is Neffy, like, in prone position too? Like she's a spotter for Janine or something?
I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. She's a spotter.
So Neffy was the meteor?
Yes.
That was coming down to destroy the other meteor that was the egg for the dinosaur? Yes. Or that had this alien in it that I guess was the reason why the dinosaurs... They haven't explained any of this shit.
They actually did kind of explain that.
I mean, they explained it as far as I described it.
Yes.
What the hell? Get down!
Yeah, that's what Cass was saying.
Did Neffy just birth the monster? Did she just, like... Oh.
No, I've...
Neffy's a chest burster. You ever seen an alien come out of another alien before? It's...
Isn't nature beautiful?
Aren't these particle effects beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
Can you make heads or tails of this?
Oh, yeah, I see what's happening. They're wrestling. They're play fighting. See, that's just a little show of dominance. He's not fighting that hard. Mwah.
Beat him, Neffy!
Please!
What was that line, Reed?
Beat him off, Neffy. No, Elliot, you gotta rephrase that.
Wait, so the Nephi lose? Is this the monster that was being fought in that cutscene?
I believe Nephi lost.
Oh,
hot dog.
He's just on fire. Is this gonna do anything for us?
Very, very, very little.
Luckily, we're not getting hit. Oh, never mind. Fuck that. Yeah. All right, Elliot. And you know what? I assume this is a good occasion as any to use the bazooka. So is this the final boss?
That I don't know. This feels final bossy to me, I will say that.
Reload.
Shoot outside the screen.
Don't step on me, please. Breathing fire on me is fine. Slime Generator says, this boss may be big, but its slow turning radius will be the end of it. You know what? Let's heal. For safety. Before our flame burns out. That's the image for the game right there.
Can't believe he let you do that. Is that the thumbnail? Him going like, whew, while his head's on fire?
That or doing it while the fire, like eating a hamburger while the fire is raging behind him. Let's see if I can actually make that happen here. Do they still have a fire breathing move? Yes. Okay, do it again. You know, let's do a Hassie. Let's knock back a Hassie. There we go.
Okay. Hope it was worth it.
It was not.
When's the last time you had to save or save state?
Ah!
Hope it was worth it.
I'm gonna fast forward this. What I'm gonna do here, and by the way, if you were like a real player playing this game without the benefit of like save states and the like, this is just your life. Luckily, we have this.
I'm fully aware of what I'm
Double
doing.
time.
Can't you see?
I'm assuming this is gonna work too.
Aware of what I'm doing.
It's gonna be
Can't
hilarious
you
when
see?
this works. I'll crack open my water while this is happening. Oh, I let go of the fast forward button because I'm trying to do this. I have one hand on the controller.
You got to say something nice coming in.
It was too hard. I had to free hand. Say something nice. Cool that the kaiju fans are get to eat. Fans of big old monsters. They get something out of this, maybe. Rest of the world suffers. See, the time flies when you do things this way. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go.
Here we go.
Again, a lot of strategy you have to employ in this particular section here. It's... Can't skip this. So I'm going to do the next best thing. And just fast forward it because I don't want to watch these again. Johnny Baghead says that scale-wise, that boss monster was pretty big for the time. Sure. I'm not that impressed by the scale. I guess the view distances in this game are a more impressive thing. If we're saying something nice. Like, presentation-wise, in most respects, this game is fine. There's definitely a few, like, very visible seams and shortcomings, but, for the most part, functional. Alright, quick save. Alright, immediately switch off.
Fire in his head.
Yep.
Yes!
Immediately switch back to Elliot, into the bazooka. And let's get on this side as we launch our attacks. Artful dodging. Oh, it's not even a stomp, it's like a kick. See, if I was a giant monster, I would just step on things. If I wanted to, like, kill, like, people, I would just step on them. They're so tiny. But that's just me.
That's... But I don't know. I feel like I would probably charge up a attack that takes a while, but does do devastating damage.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do admit that charging up my attack does open up my weak spot.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It is. I know you got those bright red LEDs for it too for your weak point.
It's the only thing I can think of that works though.
Because you need to warn people, like, don't shoot this, don't hit this with a missile or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I mean, how would they know otherwise not to hurt you?
It's like red light, like, no, stop. I had the timing real good the first time. Let's see if I can get back on that sort of tip. Oh, that missile whiffed.
Oh, no, yeah, that one got him.
Fuck's sake. Wow, I keep getting, like, comboed by the fire. This sucks. I did so well the first time, only to be, like, stuck in hell with this. Ugh. What am I doing differently this time around? What if I just keep my distance? Well, I guess we'll just constantly get hit by the flames then, won't we? Let's get on this side. If I have enough time to eat a hamburger. Nope. Hey, fuck this. This sucks. This is, I hope this game would end on a positive note. Nope, it's ended on the worst note possible.
Yep.
It's ended on a completely bullshit fight. Imagine having to redo this like 50 times and having to do that stupid 3-minute 45-second section.
With
like,
all the cutscenes in between.
Yes, and not being able to skip any of that shit. Most underrated game on Dreamcast, says Carmen. Yes. Unforgivable. Just absolutely, positively unfucking forgivable, this game. It's over. Whatever niceness, whatever gimmick I was trying to go for, it's done. This is the worst survival horror game I've ever played, and nothing comes close. Just the complete lack of care, the complete lack of, like, any sort of attention to detail when it comes to, like, you know, how, like, combat encounters work. Maybe they shouldn't have prioritized the action in this fucking game when they're so fucking bad at it. When they have no idea how to design an encounter like this in any sort of compelling way. Especially with this fucking camera they insisted on for the North American release. Maybe, like, a fixed camera would have, like, made this fight more doable. I don't know how. But this is unacceptably bad.
Fully aware
they said this is what Americans wanted.
Can't you see?
Well, Americans can go suck me.
They wanted this, and they wanted it to be harder.
Well, mission fucking accomplished. This is fucking brutal. Go ahead, breathe fire on me. That's what we want to do, right? Okay, steppy. Alright, halfway point.
There you go.
Let's do another save state. Why not? Fuck it.
Let's try to make another thumbnail.
No, it's hamburger time. like, again, it's great that I can save state and fuck around and, like, figure this out, like, so much more quickly. But a player on real hardware in 1999 having to troubleshoot, having to trial and error, having to do, like, at least, like, 5 attempts at this, right? Before they can figure things out with a limited amount of time they have and the, you know, the difficulty they're going to have healing and that sort of stuff. What if his damage ratio? No, that's not gonna work. Oh, I thought I was on my reload bullet. I did not realize I had one in the chamber still. Okay. I have to scarf that hamburger down before. Tiger Chimera says, this is the kind of thing that any reasonable game with checkpointing would at least restart you after the time gauntlet. Yeah, but this is not a reasonable game. This is Blue Stinger.
Most underrated game on the Dreamcast.
I'm never gonna take anyone seriously ever again. Anytime anyone says, like, you know, most underrated game for whatever platform, I should just not take Dreamcast fans seriously. I guess that's really what I'm getting at here. That's really the takeaway should be. Just, like, they're so desperate for, like, any game that they could say is, like, underrated, that was a hidden gem that should have been more popular, if not for the fact it was on the fucking Dreamcast. Was that it?
Or do we have to fight Nephilim?
Yeah, it turns out they were evil the whole time, too. Alright, bye to that little girl, bye to that guy, bye to the other guy we saved. Bye-bye, everyone, you're all fucked. That's a little res. Maybe that's not the killing kind of explosion. Maybe it's some other kind of explosion. The one that makes it snow.
Now she can fly around us and take up the entire camera because she's too big.
It's gonna be a white Christmas after all. Ah, shit, they're still alive. This do anything for you?
Nephilim.
That's not my name. My name is Jessica. You kind of made up that Nephi thing. Oh, hey, remember this guy?
Goodbye, Nephilim.
So that's the true meaning of Christmas.
Oh my god, was that it?
Wait, was that it? No. No, come on. Well, that was it.
Oh, what a stinker. Alright, you know what time it is.
Yep,
Time to hit my fucking screen, and boy howdy did I earn it this
Fully aware of
time.
what I'm doing. Can't you see?
Okay, you go first with your thoughts on this one.
It was alright. I think it was an underrated... No.
I'll kill you. I'm gonna drink one.
Okay. I only played like a tiny, tiny little bit of this. So I didn't get like the full experience. But like, man, did they drop the ball? I'm, not even talking about just the base game experience. I think, man, did they drop the ball on thinking like what Americans wanted out of video games? Like, yeah, they're like, oh, they want video games that are harder. So we'll make it like way harder. And they don't like they're not tank control. They don't like fixed cameras. So we'll give them like a real camera. It's like just real bad decisions. Like I guess they looked at the game, like they tested it and like, well, this isn't fun, but I guess Americans want that. So whatever. I mean, we made a worse game out of this, but that's the way it rolls. Base game didn't seem great either, though, right? I think it was charming. I can put aside Rage to see the charm in it, and I can see why people would like it based on, like, dogs, And I think a lot of people, I'm not going to say everyone, because surely not, but I think a lot of people who do really like this game are people who have not played this game, to which you have encouraged, and I encourage, play the game. If you're going to, if you're gonna say this game is, if you're gonna say, you can say like, oh, I love that game's style, or I love that game's atmosphere, and not have played it. That's fine. You can perceive that through playthroughs. If you're gonna say, oh, I love that game is great, and you haven't played it, you should play it. I want to get. I think your opinion matters, Marlo, because you're the one who actually sat down and played through all of this. I've played like half an hour or 40 minutes of this. You're the one playing it. So, what are your thoughts?
Okay, first of all, very good. I appreciate you taking the lead on that while I composed myself. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, I didn't like it. I don't know if that much is abundantly clear or not. Why don't I like it? I can appreciate the charm. I can appreciate some of the novelty of it. I can appreciate the concept. I can appreciate what their vision for this game was. But clearly, something went wrong. Whether it was cutting them short on time, whether that pivot from Saturn to Dreamcast just, like, took a lot out of them. Clearly, like, even in that original version, just, like, the game as it exists, the sequence of events, the triggers, the puzzles, the balance of time sequences, it reads like a game that was torn apart then stitched back together. And that feeling is so evident through every minute of gameplay. And so that looms large over all the proceedings. So, and usually I can appreciate that. I can still appreciate a game that even if it feels like it was torn apart and put back together. The Ring Terrors Realm is a game that is very similar to this, in the sense that it was... Oh, post-credits. Hold on. Wait, I forgot. I don't know how to breathe in space. Ugh. Why is the music sinister?
And that's how meteors are born. Because now she turned into one of the evil egg asteroids that will go seed a planet. The cycle continues, as Luis just said. See you next adventure.
They didn't. There was no next adventure, unless you count Hellbleed, I guess. But I think that the ties between this game and that game are minimal at best. What a slog. The end. Is this going to hang on this to the end, or is it going to kick us back to the title screen?
Clear time. Really? Really now?
I mean, we lost progress, lost saves, used save states. Well, might as well save, for that new game plus. Exit out of that. Alright, cool. What do we unlock? and then I'll get back to my train of thought on the epilogue screen. Difficulty normal, hard, yeah. What happens if I load game? I wonder if there's any options here. Do we get to keep all right? We get to keep our money.
Yeah.
I wonder if we get to keep inventory too.
Now here's the problem: cutscenes.
Oh, they let us skip the intro cutscene. We can't skip this though.
Okay, interesting.
I'm just gonna fast forward it. That's the best thing I can do here. Yep. Remember all this?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Now all this makes sense. Now I fully understand the story being told here. All right, you keep your money, but nothing else. It looks like. Oh, we have 100 hassies, 100 of each hassie.
Okay, yeah. Your ATM card. What about your weapons?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. I think if you do it fast enough, or maybe on a different difficulty, you get weapons.
Well, that's great. But that is as much of that game as I can tolerate.
Fair enough.
That is the end of Blue Stinger. And now to get back to what I was saying. Reasons I don't like this game. I mean, we've gone over all of them. I really don't need to relitigate like every little bit that annoyed me, like the swimming sections or the just how bad the combat is, the fact that I guess I really want to focus on the camera. And I brought up something before, which is authorial intent. Clearly, this game was designed with fixed cameras in mind. And whether or not those fixed cameras are good or whatever the case may be, the game was consciously designed around those. Around specific angles, highlighting things in the environment, deliberate framing and cinematography. And this is meant to be like a Hollywood-style movie type production, as they said in the advertising. And I think the fixed cameras would aid in an idea like that. So to take all that, to take a completed game, take a game that's on the market in Japan, and then decide, on what seems like a fucking whim, for the North American release, to just throw all that out in favor of this behind-the-back camera, which doesn't work, which just absolutely, positively, in no sense of the word works for what this game is, for the rooms that exist, for the claustrophobic corners, and for every door you pass through, and for just every odd bit of it. Just completely non-functional. And they stuck to it. They committed to it. And beyond the fact that it's just broken, that the camera in this game is just unacceptably bad, I also feel like there is something to be said for the fact that it diminishes the authorial, it's disrespectful to the people who came up with the original vision for the game. I don't know how else to say it. It's disrespectful to what they sought to do with this. To the work that was put into framing the game in such a way and design these levels in such a way, it just shits on that. No one on the team could have been happy with the camera shift. No one could have been like, this is a good idea, but they were forced to by dumb fuck executives who think they understand different markets and different tastes and whatnot, and clearly they fucking didn't. So whatever, camera, throw it away completely. There's the argument I've heard. I've only heard one argument from one person that I even thought had any merit in defending this game. And it has to do with, there's a lot of hidden stuff in this game, and they seem to like that. Did you know, in the freezer area, you know that valve you turn to turn the heat on and start, melting everything? You know how there was those temperature settings that said that, these RPM cycles will cause it to go to these temperatures? And how we were frustrated because it didn't let you do anything with that? That you just kind of pressed one button and it set it to whatever temperature it sets to by default and melts the ice? Right. Did you know that if you walk up to that valve or whatever it is, that input console, it gives you, would you like to turn the valve? Yes or no? It defaults to yes, and doing yes is what we did. That to access those RPM controls, you would have to select no, and then it would give you another text prompt in the same way that the ATM machines work, where you have to go through every single fucking name to see all the different ATM cards you have on you. So someone made an argument to me that is hey, it's neat that it has that. Isn't that a neat idea that they have all these like different like solutions, or, like different ways to like interact with stuff? That's great. Those features might as well not fucking exist in the final product, because the way they are presented is completely back-asswards and stupid. Completely unintuitive. 99.99% of players would never know that mechanic existed, that those mechanics existed, would never know to shuffle through all the ATM cards. Would never know that, like, you know, it's so counterintuitive to say no to things. So you're so trained as a gamer to say yes, like, I'm activating this machine, of course I would want to use it. So whatever hidden depth there is, whatever bonus features or alternate routes or whatever stuff is buried in this game is properly buried. Buried beneath the earth where it can't be fucking seen. And while I can applaud ambition and can applaud options and choices and stuff of that nature, these things that they sort of hid, when you hide it so deep, it doesn't exist. It ceases to be. If it's not visible, if it's not intuitive, then it might as well not exist. It might as well not even be there. So it's great they put the time in. Complete waste of time, in effect. Speaking of complete waste of time, this is a game that has absolutely zero respect for a player's time. Time and time again, the egregious amount of backtracking, of walking past things that you need to interact with to get to the end of somewhere, to pick up an item that makes it so you can go back to check every single door again to make sure you're... Like, this instances of that, or instances where you go down this long-ass hallway to do one thing or see one thing at the end of it, and then have to walk all the way back. Or the amount of times you need to go from one end of the island back to the other end, and then back to the other end again. Just the amount of ground you need to cover, and then cover again, then cover again, cover again. And that's how they pad out this game. I want to say, like, half this game is backtracking. 25% of it is cutscenes that you can't skip, and the other 25% is like original gameplay. And that's a bad ratio. As it turns out, that is not an ideal ratio. That is not a great way to approach pacing your game. And again, I have to imagine this was not entirely by design. Benefit of the doubt. Developers were probably under some amount of time crunch, budget crunch. This game's development dragged on across between console generations. So at some point, like, the imperative is on them. The incentive is just to finish this thing. I still think Sega probably should have put a little more fucking time and money into this. I get that the Dreamcast had, like, a release date and that they wanted this to be a launch window game. But clearly, if you're gonna make this a launch window game, if this is gonna be your Resident Evil competitor, which is what this was positioned as before they had Code Veronica on Dreamcast, you know, debuting on there, before they had the ports of 2 and 3 or whatever. Like, this was the go-to launch day, in North America anyway, survival horror title. And to let it be this lackluster, to let it be this unpolished, to let it be this unintuitive and clumsy and frustrating and actively hostile towards the player, to not have those scenes sewn up by the time it came out in North America, there were 5 months. Maybe even 6 between this game's Japanese release on March 25th and its North American release on September 9th, 1999. That gave them 6 months to not only do that camera, to make that change to the camera, but to, like, redesign the game around that, or to troubleshoot that camera to make it something functional, or to rethink other elements of the game that were being criticized by the Japanese press, you would think. You know, even like in the 6 months, let's say it's like 4 months realistic, or even 3 months. Throw as much money as you need to at the thing to make sure it turns out good. In a position like Sega's. Yet you make sure that what's going to be so many gamers is first game they potentially play for your console. One of the 3 games available at launch, if I remember correctly. So a non-insignificant sum. 500,000 players, 500,000 purchasers of this game, if the numbers are to be believed. I just don't see how you let a product like this onto market in the state that it's in. And sure, it reviewed fine. People were willing to overlook some of the errors because they were so smitten with the Dreamcast and so impressed by the visuals, so impressed by the fact you could see from one end of the room to another that these environments are fully 3D. Isn't that wild? You can change characters? Ain't that a concept? And is willing to overlook what is, I can't describe as anything other than completely broken gameplay. Stupid puzzles, bad combat, broken camera, shitty platforming when it comes to, like, those inescapable pits, and just having to, like, have the most shortcutty, the most half-assed, half-baked solution with those rescue ropes. Like, oh, you fall off, oh, you just climb back up. It's just like so many things that are just like patchwork in this game that I think it's unfair. I think it's a disservice that reviewers reviewed this as anything higher than like a 3 out of 5, because the problems are just so egregious that anyone who was just taken by like the presentation of it is a hack. To give this game like a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, God forbid, like in what universe? By whose metric? Certainly no one like on planet Earth. Maybe it's for the aliens out there. Maybe it's for Neffy. Maybe Nephew would get something out of this that I didn't, because I just can't imagine like people claiming this as their favorite survival horror, and yet people claim that. People say this is the most underrated game on Dreamcast. They say that this game is actually good. They love the character of Dogs Bauer, and it's like you said, I don't think these people fucking played the game. I think of the 500,000 people that purchased this game, I think you'd be hard-pressed to ask any of them to remember this game as anything other than a frustrating game from their past. Or people who do have positive memories of it, ask them to play the game again. Ask them to try it now. Ask them to give it a look with 2024 glasses on. And I guarantee you that if they're being honest with themselves, with their audience, that if they're overlooking or not disclosing these issues that are egregious with the game in terms of the control and the camera and just like the basic functionality, don't trust them. And certainly don't parrot what they say until you've played the game for yourself.
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can you
Thank
see?
you for the drink up. I do need it in the middle of this. I think there's a problem with the way YouTube games content is produced. This isn't a revelation. I don't think I'm breaking any ground by saying that. I think it's a well-established fact. But the specific problem I'm isolating and highlighting here is this idea of being so desperate to find quote-unquote underrated games, to dig up buried treasures, diamonds in the rough, that people are just willing to be disingenuous about it. The lie I was sold about this game, the expectations that were set for it, the affection people seem to have for this character, this Dogs Bauer, who, by the way, is no fucking Barry Burden, let me tell you that goddamn much. This dude was not as charming as he was made out to be, was not as funny in his dialogue and his actions. I'll take any character from Resident Evil 1 any day of the week. Don't even put it on the same fucking level as those characters and how quirky and inspired and like memorable they are, because these characters are gonna fucking leave my mind by tomorrow. And I'll be happy for it. I just think that if you're going to steer people towards playing a game, you need to be upfront with these things. You need to say like, hey, look, there's a valid argument to be made for, I appreciate the ambition and the charm and the ideas that this game is trafficking in. But be warned, the part where you actually play it is rough. And the complete failure of people to disclose that part of it, or to not even acknowledge the gameplay at any turn in any way, the fact that it is like a cool 5th or 6th on the list of talking points about this game, is really indicative of the fact that, like, at its core, it's just a bad game. Right? And we can appreciate bad games. That's kind of what the Bad Game Hall of Fame is all about, if you don't know. But this is bad in ways that are frustrating and actively hostile, and that's usually a lot harder to forgive. And the game has to be really charming to offset that stuff, or it has to be really ambitious. Realistically, this game is not the most ambitious. It certainly reached for a few things. It had a few novel ideas, but it's nothing revolutionary, and it's nothing that would have caught on either. Besides maybe the economy system. Economy has since made its way into survival horror games. Resident Evil is an economy-based game now with like the item shops and the merchants and whatnot. So I guess they predicted that. They called that shot. But what else did this game call? What else did it revolutionize? What else did it figure out before anyone else did? Not much. The ideas that it had that are unique to it were never replicated because they were proven to be bad in this game. There's a reason why survival horror games don't have prolonged swimming sections, because Blue Stinger got there first and demonstrated why that is a bad idea. I just think that you, as someone who recommends bad games to people, who knowingly, like, will recommend and earnestly, honestly suggest them, like, give Drake of the 99 Dragons a shot. It's a little busted, to say the least. But if you can get past that, or if you can get used to the controls, you have an enjoyable third-person shooter there. Or let's go back to my primary point of comparison for this game. The thing I most closely associate with this in my mind, because it's the same platform and same genre, and that is the Ring Terrors realm. It is so much easier to sell someone on the Ring Terrors realm. I'd have a million easier magnitude's easier of a time selling someone in the Ring Terror's Realm. That is a game that is really genuinely charming at every turn. That is so goofy, that is so earnest, that has, by the way, 4 different camera control options. So they managed to make 4 different types of camera work on a Dreamcast controller without, like, active camera control. Funny that. They made a behind-the-back camera work, they made fixed cameras work, they made all these different sorts of cameras work. This game couldn't figure out fucking one. But comparing it to the Ring Terror's Realm, like, I think it's an infinitely more charming game. I think it's a more functional game. It has equally annoying music. You know, the Merry Christmas theme in this game versus that one fucking song that plays throughout like 90% of the Ring Terror's Realm. But like ultimately that's a more functional game. The plot is more kitschy in ways that are funny, the movie tie-in. And you know, similarly, it's another game that began life as something else. That they had another vision for it, and then had to hard pivot and take the pieces they had, all these assets that they have, and rearrange them into the shape of something completely new. And I just, again, strongly suspect something very similar happened here with Blue Stinger. And, you know, that's not necessarily on the devs. I mean, being forced into a predicament like that, like, will flummox anyone. Will give anyone pause, give anyone trouble. But, you know, you do the best with the pieces you have. And the pieces here were just not arranged in any way that is cohesive, or intuitive, or really even entertaining, by my measure. I'm sure there are people who do legitimately enjoy this game for its gameplay. I can't imagine it. You know, I can't picture it with the camera being as bad as it is and the combat being as inelegant as it is. But maybe this resonated with someone. Maybe there is someone out there who genuinely likes this game for the gameplay. And I would love to hear from them, because their voice has not been heard in this equation. Because everything I've heard of people praising this game, none of it has to do with the gameplay, and I suspect there's a very good reason for that, because the gameplay is bad. And if I'm talking in circles, I apologize. I will summate it here. I will give a closing statement. I can appreciate what the vision for Blue Stinger was. I can appreciate the predicament the developers at Climax Entertainment were given, that were put into. I can appreciate, like, individual aspects of the design. I can appreciate the scale of things. I can appreciate a number of qualities about this game. But ultimately, they're not arranged in any way that is cohesive or digestible or accessible. I am particularly sour. If I am particularly sour about this, it's because I was sold a false bill of goods. Because the expectation that people set for me was way up here, and the experience I had was way down here. And so what I guess I'm going to end on here is a call for honesty, a call for transparency, a call to content creators or people who support these games and propagate them and spread word of them online, that if you're going to try to sell people on a game that you have to know is janky, you have to admit that it's janky. If you're upfront with the fact that a game is janky, and people know what they're getting into, then they'll have an easier time digesting it. They'll know what they're getting into in a way that we did not know what we were getting into with this. And that definitely absolutely colored the commentary. And so I'm taking all the blame off myself. I'm absolving myself completely of the fact I spent this entire 4-episode playthrough whinging and complaining, and I'm putting that squarely on other people. I am completely absolved of this. It's everyone else's fault, not mine. So final rating, 2 out of 5. After all is said and done, it really is more like a 1 out of 5. Like, in terms of like entertainment factor, it's a 1 out of 5, but you know, it's a product complete from beginning to end. So it passes that test. That gets it the minimum 1 point. Then the other point that puts it over the edge is the fact that it's like at least like somewhat ambitious and tries a bunch of stuff, throws a bunch of stuff against the wall. Almost none of it sticks. But by God, they tried. And I guess that's where I stand. I really do just genuinely dislike this game. I'll never play it again. I will remove it from the hard drive. But, you know, I'll never forget it. For better or for worse. It's going to lodge its way in there in my brain, but I'm not going to make the same mistake everyone else did and pretend that it's anything that it wasn't. Because that would be dishonest. And if nothing else, I hope the takeaway is that we are honest to a fault here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. You may not like the way we deliver this news, this honesty, this brand of honesty that we traffic in, but it's all I know. How was that?
You want me to be too honest here?
By all means.
If I don't leave and go to the restroom in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to die.
All right, in that case, let's wrap up the stream. Folks, thanks for watching along for Blue Stinger. Thanks for suffering with us. It was a hell of a journey. We're going to come back next Thursday, not with a Patreon voted game, but with something else. We have something else in the works. We will return to the Patreon and Twitch subscriber voted stuff. But hey, if you like what we saw here...
I say be excited about next week, though.
Absolutely.
Sure.
If you like what you saw, and why wouldn't you, consider pledging on Patreon, consider subscribing on Twitch, join the Discord channel, gain access to the Patreon Saints channel where our supporters go to vote on upcoming games we play and discuss and so on and so forth. Have your voice be heard there. If you can't financially support us, we completely understand. Tough economy, as it turns out. Just consider sharing our videos. Consider sharing this with a Blue Stinger fan in your life. Consider sharing videos from our suggested viewing playlist. Those are ones that we've handpicked that we believe to be strong picks, good onboarding for the channel. And if failing that, if you're not able to do that either, if you don't have anyone to share it with, just keep watching. Just keep tuning in. And we promise we will keep putting out the banger content as much as we're able. Let's see who is streaming. Let's see who we can raid. Nah, no one.
No one? Okay.
There's like 2 people, but like it's nothing that, not even like gaming channels, one of them. Anyway, we will return Saturday with a theme night and Tuesday with something or other. We're always doing something. You know the times, you know the schedule. Charkie needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to leave it be. I've been Cassidy. I've been your survival horror expert. Survival horror tip, don't play this game. Unless you want to, unless you need to know for yourself.
And I've been Charkie? I don't have a thing. I'm always bad at this part, but I'm Charkie. I know that much for sure.
Well, for sure. We'll practice. We'll get you there at some point. Yeah. We'll teach you how to close a show. But for now...
Oh, you showed me how to close a show. There you go.
There it is.
Have a good night, everybody.
How about you give a bye?
All right. Bye.
Bye.